Seeking English, S.A.T. Workbook, page 342, Problem 2. The owners of a restaurant are paying for boxes of flyers to announce their grand opening. If each box contains F flyers and each employee passes out Y flyers per day, how many boxes of flyers do the owners need to supply enough flyers for 5F employees to pass out flyers for 7 days? Now, if you're not confused a little bit, you probably weren't paying enough attention. This is a confusing problem because it uses F as the number of flyers per box and also as 1/5 of the number of employees in question. So if you're separate from the S.A.T, if you are working for a company that has this kind of a calculation problem at some point, don't do what they did in this problem. Don't use the same number for the number of flyers and for 1/5 of the employees unless they are actually closely agree, unless they're contingent upon each other in some way, unless there's a kind of causal relationship, or unless they're both related to some third thing. F being incidentally equal to the other F in this problem in real life is probably not going to be something that is reliable in most cases. If it happens to be the same, okay, that's why this problem is confusing, because it sort of doesn't model reality on more than maybe an incidental basis. Have I said too much? Yeah, fine. Fine. Okay. If you watch this video, skip what I just said. So the reason, again, it's confusing is because F is used for two different things in the problem. And they want these expressions. They want one of these to model the supply of boxes, the number of boxes that they need in order to provide F flyers for 5F employees for 7 days. Choices, if you have the book, you can see in the book. Choices are 35F squared Y, 5Y over 7, 35F squared Y, and 35Y. Without going into what's wrong with these, my suggestion would be don't try to fit these. This is a rare case where I would say try to come up with a thing on your own first, rather than confuse yourself by trying to reason through these because of the F thing. F squared. If you don't read the thing, looks plausible because they're using F for two different things. So let's take a look. What do they have? You have each box contains F flyers. Okay, so you're going to hand out Y flyers. You're going to have 5F employees. This is really the narrative. Okay, these 5F employees are each going to hand out Y flyers. They're going to do that for 7 days. For me, that's the chronology. Okay, for me, that's the chronology. And this is an expression for the total number of flyers that they're going to hand out. Now the question is, how many boxes do they need? Not how many flyers do they need? How many boxes do they need? So the number of boxes is going to be smaller than the number of flyers because there's a multiple number of flyers per box. If you count them as boxes instead of as flyers, the number gets a lot smaller. You divide the number of flyers by the number of flyers per box, and you get the number of boxes. Okay, so that's F there. So fortunately, the F's cancel. Okay, already you've eliminated some pretty bad answers in the book, and you just have to multiply the 5 and the 7, okay, and the Y. So it's 35 Y boxes. Okay. You say, teacher, why did the F disappear? Well, because they used it for two things that they canceled each other in the problem. That's weird. Yes, answer D, 35Y.